I am resident of Colorado for YouTube. Jules Sains is my buddy Patrick McCray, my buddy Gordon Dymowski, my buddy Daniel Culver. We are here to review Scanners from 1981, I think. A Michael Cronenberg written and directed movie. Patrick McGowan is in this bad boy from The Prisoner. You have Michael Ironside as the villain. He is a very, very good villain. He plays very good villains, actually. Gordon chose this one. Gordon, why'd you choose this one, buddy?
Well, I did it for a couple of reasons. Part of it is I wanted to do at least one Cronenberg horror movie because I think he's one of those directors that kind of gets lost in the shuffle because he can at times be very arty. Another reason is I chose this movie particularly because I had seen it when it first came out when I was in high school, and B, I couldn't find a decent streaming copy of The Brood, which is the movie before this. So I thought this would be a good way to kind of serve as a sampler of sorts. And plus, it has an exploding head, so like that. Every movie should have an exploding head. Like I was thinking that when we do these podcasts, like one of us, we should cycle through and have one of us like build a paper mache head that we set to go off. So like, Jewel, you'll be saying, "Hey, this is Resident of Collinwood. I'm Jewel Sains with my buddy Patrick McRae and my buddy Gordon Dymowski and my buddy Alan Gallant." And like the person whose head is up with paper mache, we press a button and it explodes on camera. Just to make sure people are watching.
Yeah, I've heard like 3 words. My connection's absolutely terrible.
Sorry, Patrick. Basically, set up fake head so that we can blow it up before the podcast.
I think you said it.
Oh, you still didn't hear it?
I think he's having a connection issue.
Yeah, because he freezes. So
yeah. Can you hear us?
I can now, but I don't know for how long.
Well, Gordon was saying about a paper, making a paper head mache and like it exploding in the next podcast. One of us could do that. That's funny. Patrick, when did you first see this movie?
I saw it in theaters when it came out. Yeah, I saw it on its initial release.
Cool. Mm-hmm. Daniel, when did you first see this?
Actually, just today.
Cool. What did you think?
I thought it was good,
Cool. Gordon, you talked about art, Michael, that and there is some art in this movie. One of the scanners actually makes art. How, because I haven't seen many Cronenberg films. I think I've seen this and one other. Does he always put art in every movie?
No, but a lot of times what he does is he'll set up certain camera shots that are meant to be artistic in tone. That's what I meant by art. But he does a lot of body horror. A few years after this, he does a movie called Videodrome, which is you should see Videodrome, Joel, for 2 main reasons. One is it's a very weird, trippy movie with people taking like guns out of their stomachs, and you'll also enjoy a coked out James Woods as the lead.
That seems to be a theme.
You mean coked out James Woods?
Yeah. That seems to be a thing. Oh my gosh. The concept of this movie is very interesting. Psychics like that can kill in a very violent way. The exploding head is something, if you're watching this for the first time, you're not expecting. Very, very just imaginative storytelling by Cronenberg. When you guys first saw this movie, and again, the '80s brought a lot of like the '70s sort of set up the '80s for their movies, but the '80s, the '80s really pushed the envelope on a lot of things. What did you guys think of the sort of the shockingness of this movie? What shocked you most about it, you think?
I think, I, just looking back at that time,
Mhm.
you know, it wasn't. I mean, there's a lot of coverage around the exploding head, but as movies go, we kind of, it wasn't. It depended on the movie. So, like, at one point in high school, I managed. It was a triple bill at a local theater, and I managed to convince my mom and dad to take me to see An American Werewolf in London, Halloween 2, and Cat People all in the same night. And I can tell you that I enjoyed American Werewolf in London. I enjoyed Cat People, but it was Halloween 2 that kind of turned me off. And it wasn't just like gore and bloodiness. When it's handled well is great. When it's kind of handled and just because you just need shock value, it wasn't that bad. And I mean, this film, although it shocked me, it wasn't until I saw Videodrome where I'm like, oh God. I mean, it's, for those of you who are watching, go out and see this film. Go out and see Scanners, but also see Videodrome. And so at the time, like there were the obvious parents were like, oh, we shouldn't have knife kill flicks. Oh, protect the children. Like there are like, but that's always been a thing. It's like, oh, TV commercials are too commercial. It's like, just let the kids have G.I. Joe. Okay. Let them have Transformers. Let the kids have their Friday the 13th, but this film, it was, by this point, I looked old enough where I could get into seeing R-rated movies at like 13, 14 years of age. No kidding. It actually happened. I was rarely the glory days when you didn't need ID to see an R-rated movie. But anyway, but yeah, it wasn't too shocking. And I think looking at it now, and I've seen it once or twice since then, but like looking at it now, it's a very complicated kind of plot. Because you're following this guy and you see the pieces, but then towards the end, you see them come together.
Yeah. Patrick, what did you think? What shocked you about this movie?
Shocked me.
Yeah, shocked you.
I think the drilling through the head. I think the body horror in the movie that's not science fictional, because it's just silly. I mean, it's fun, but it's nothing I actually really worry about. But I mean, people do try to release the spirits in their heads. I mean, happen to I think what Egon Spengler tried it. So I think that Daryl Revick's attack on himself, that was the most shocking element, I think, to it. I think the fact that it was so ruthless towards its hero, especially in the climax of the movie. I think the fact that the acting was so bad by the lead. I mean, I guess they looped in his dialogue, and they got an actor who was, if it was the same guy, he really needed to be looped in by somebody else. And if this is the substitute, wow. But I mean, but it's a very Cronenbergian performance in that, David Cronenberg's known for very antiseptic films, often.
Yeah.
And they're not exactly the warmest movies. That's what's so remarkable about The Fly, or even The Dead Zone, which is the winteriest movie I think ever made. So yeah. I mean, I don't get shocked, I think, that easily. at films. But and of course the head exploding thing had been the most heavily publicized aspect of the film. Now it looks like an outtake from Arrested Development because the guy who does the test at the beginning of the movie looks just like David Cross.
Yeah. Daniel, what shocked you most about this movie?
I would say the head exploding because I actually didn't know this was going to be. I actually didn't know this is the movie that was from, but I have seen that clip before because like a lot of people use that for like jokes online.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Now, me, Patrick, and Gordon, we reviewed The Prisoner together, which was produced by Patrick McGowan. It starred Patrick McGowan, and just when I think of that Patrick McGowan can't shock me any more than The Prisoner, he does this movie, and I gotta say, his character really shocked me. So I have a question for you guys as I was watching this movie. Patrick McGowan's character, Scanner or not Scanner?
Not.
I mean, the movie makes that clear.
Yeah, it would lose its point if he were.
I'll go not as well.
Okay. I just thought his character was very strange.
Yeah. And Jewel, if Patrick McGowan in this movie shocks you, wait until you see his appearances on Columbo.
Or Baby, Secret of the Lost Legend.
Yeah.
I've seen at
The
least
Phantom.
one of them. I've seen at least
That's a
one
great
of them.
movie. We did The Phantom. It was a wonderful film. He's really good in it.
Mm-hmm.
I've seen him in one appearance of Columbo because I know he spoofs his character from The Prisoner a bit, just a little bit. So I've seen one of them, but yeah. So here's a question for you guys. Michael Ironside, great actor, known for villains. Is this one of your favorite Michael Ironside roles, or?
Well, it's sort of like talking about in The Exorcist. So far the demon has shown three personalities. 3 or 4 personalities. No, there is only one. I think we've just seen one Michael Ironside performance. In a bunch of different films. He's wonderful at intensity. I don't think of range when I just think this Michael Ironside guy either just had a good day or a bad day, and he's in different places. Sometimes he's on a submarine, sometimes he's fighting aliens. In this, he's had a really bad day, and he's got to let those psychic powers out somehow. I love Michael Ironside. He's a great, great, great film presence. And Michael Ironside's a guy who can get every opportunity out of a part, I think, while maintaining a menacing stoicism. So certainly this is one of the most interesting movies that Michael Ironside has been in.
Yeah, I agree. I think Michael Ironside is one of those actors that when he's playing a role, he's doing his best in that role. But like, you're not going to see him as Hamlet. You're not going to see him in a Hallmark romantic comedy, not even as the father. He
is symbolic of Michael Ironside.
Yes, he is the Michael Ironsidest of Michael Ironsides.
There you go. I was telling Gordon this before we started. If you guys check him out in Turbo Kid, fun movie. Just a fun movie. Which he plays the villain in there too, not shocking, but still a fun movie.
I don't think he plays the kid.
Well, yeah. Well, the kid is sort of, kind of a kid and kind of not, in a sense. So, which is really interesting. So, this movie is really, really good. I love the camera work in it, the acting. Now we learned that Michael Ironside's character has a rat inside the organization. He's very willing to do what he wants to do, but Michael Ironside's character goes to every length to kill everybody who's against him, which I think he makes him even much more of a heavier of a heel. Um, what's some of you guys' favorite moments from this movie, Gordon?
Favorite moments from this movie. That's a hard question because a lot of this movie is it's not like I can say like, oh yeah, when the guy shot the people with the shotgun. I think, eh, I think this is one of those movies that it's hard to isolate scenes because it all kind of has to work together. I think if there is a sequence that I thought was that struck me differently now watching again is the scene where he's fighting a computer because it's like the computer has a nervous system, you have a nervous system, and it's like no, science don't work like that. Neuroscience don't work like that. It's it's a pleasant, it's Kit from Knight Rider was a much more scientifically plausible idea at that time than a scanner blowing up a computer with his brain.
Yeah, that's a good point.
Patrick, what's some of your favorite scenes?
You know, certainly I enjoy anything with Patrick McGowan.
Yeah.
I like Patrick McGowan's little speech he gives about when they're trying to shut down the scanner program towards the beginning of the movie, and he says, "Oh wait, didn't a scanner cause all of this trouble?" Yeah, well, there we go. That's why we need it. I enjoyed that. I enjoyed watching him as kind of a warm, avuncular figure. This is the first time I'd seen him do that in a movie, and he really sells I think pretty authentic benevolence. So yeah, I like those. Um, that's the main stuff. I think when we're first seeing how the scanners can use their powers, making guys shoot the other guys and so on. I think all of that is a good wind up. It's intriguing. So those things, yeah. But it is a machine built to make scanners.
Yes.
The movie Scanners is a machine built to make scanners, and it does that really well. But it's not necessarily going to give you a lot of sort of memorable moments along the way. It's not really a memorable moments movie.
Yeah, Cronenberg is much less concerned with, like, say, the setup and execution as he is in building an atmosphere, as he is um, in a movie like The Fly. It's less about, oh, hey, look, here's this fun couple, and isn't it tragic that he's turning into a fly? That's the actors doing that job. Cronenberg's concern is, okay, what happens when you, like in this case, you have a guy who decides that you have someone who discovers that not only does he have powers, but there's this whole backstory, and that even he doesn't remember who he is, but it turns out, yeah, he was, there's a reason why he was told he was someone else. So I don't think Cronenberg is a like best shot, best scene of the movie. His movies are more about, I think, mood. They're about plot, but also about mood and tone and ideas.
Yeah. Guys, I'm going to let you guys take it over from here. I'll be right back. Okay.
Okay.
Okay. Daniel, what's some of your most favorite moments in this movie?
I know I brought it up a bunch. Oh, never mind. I did bring it up before the recording, but yeah, the head exploding one, yeah, that was a pretty good moment. I understand why they used it in advertising, but yeah, I would say another one of my favorite movies is also moments is when like we see the interview with the one scanner, like Patrick said, he drilled a hole into his skull, and yeah, I thought that was pretty interesting. Yeah.
Yeah, and I mean, he didn't just drill a hole into his skull. The bandage has like a third eye on it. So
the eye, the eye is really eerie.
Yeah, it's like that weird mix of, okay, he's trying to trepan. Is that what it's called, trepanning?
Yeah.
And to drill a hole in his head to let all those thoughts out, and he's so out of it that that when they put a bandage on his head, he actually draws an eye in it as if to say, yeah, this is my third eye. I mean, it reminded me. and I think it came out the same year, if not after, of From Beyond, where
Oh, From Beyond was about 5 or 6 years later.
oh, okay, yeah, it's like a lot of '80s movies. They kind of, I have a hard time keeping them in track because it's like I know when I saw them, I just know they're '80s. I don't necessarily know the year,
Yeah, that's
but yeah.
understandable.
Yeah, with that, the easy measure there is that what really put them on the map as quote unquote serious filmmakers was Reanimator, and that's midpoint of the decade, and so From Beyond is after that, kind of building on that.
Okay.
But I was going to ask, has anybody here seen any of the sequels? Because I have not.
I haven't. In fact, I've not heard anything good about the sequels.
I can't
So this
imagine
movie-
there would be.
Of this movie or another one you mentioned?
This one.
This movie has sequels.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Yeah, there's a Scanners trilogy, but I don't think Cronenberg's involved with the other two.
He might have picked up a check. I think that was it.
Yeah, it's
Oh,
like
yeah.
here's your thank you money.
It's funny.
Yeah.
As a director, he's okay. I really like Cronenberg as much or more as an actor.
Mm-hmm.
Is one of the only highlights of Star Trek Discovery.
Yeah, and
Oh, wow.
I'm trying to think what because he also had like not a major role, but it was one of those side roles in the series, and it was one of those I can't believe he is in that.
Oh, well, and he's a Nightbreed.
Oh yeah, that's right. That's what I'm thinking of. Nightbreed.
Yeah, and he's having fun. It's nice to see him have fun.
Mm-hmm.
Now, Cronenberg's a guy I feel like who genuinely evolved as a filmmaker. It's almost like he was afraid to dig too deeply into emotion at first, maybe because there was so much legitimately shocking stuff going on in the movie. Rabid and Shivers and stuff like that. That adding in human warmth would almost overload people. And The Fly, I feel like, by casting such charismatic actors and letting them be charismatic without stealing the show, I feel like maybe he kind of turned a little bit of a corner. And then he made one of my favorite movies. This is a later film that to me is actually a very warm movie, and that's Dangerous Method about Freud and Jung.
Oh, I've heard the title. That's been one that I've been meaning to check out.
It's a great movie. It's very good.
Yeah, because I've been one of my favorite later Cronenberg films, and I have to admit it's not really anybody's favorite, is A History of Violence. Where
I like that movie.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, a lot of people, if you say A History of Violence, are like, eh. I mean, I like it because Cronenberg isn't, he's focusing on the psychology and the ideas, but the ideas aren't necessarily body horror ideas. It's all about how do you move away from a lifestyle that you're used to when you know it's hurtful, but you're still kind of in that world. And that's kind of a really horrific idea.
It would make a good, and I mean this, it would make a good double feature with Serbian film.
Mm-hmm.
Because they're both dealing with that issue. They're both dealing with that idea.
Oh, Serbian film? Yeah, I actually won't watch that movie, to be honest.
Oh, you do?
Oh, no, I actually probably won't watch that.
You won't. No one's mentioned it like as a candidate. Although I think it's a lot of fun. But that's just me.
Oh, yeah, that's understandable. Oh, yeah, Serbian film is one movie that I'll probably not review. There's a few I probably won't review, and a lot of people might not like this. I know I'm going off topic, but I probably won't review the Jeepers Creepers movies because of what the director did,
Oh yeah. Well, if it means anything, Serbian film is actually a film that is critical of the excesses that the movie is accused of representing. It's actually more of a commentary on that, and a commentary about how everybody under Milosevic was literally screwed.
Okay, yeah, that makes sense.
I think it's a very misinterpreted movie, and and it has very, very powerful moments that are really very heartbreaking. But Gordon, to your point, yeah, it's the same thing where you have someone who has had this strange, violent past,
Mhm.
and they are thrown, ass over tea kettle, right back into it. And how do they, navigate that with a very different set of tools?
Mhm. Yeah, because I was just trying to search to see if I could watch a Serbian film streaming, and it looks like it's not available. Well,
I've
it's
got
available for it's available for like paid, but I was looking
no,
for.
I've got copies of it. I could, make available.
Um,
If anybody wanted to talk about it, it's but I mean, now Joel wants to talk shocking. Oh, it's so shocking. For me, I had to laugh, and at the extremity of it. Um, eh, Not that I find the sort of abuses in the movie to be funny, but I found the audaciousness to include them and to pivot the plot around parts of them as being certainly there was never a dull moment in the movie.
Yeah.
We were talking about never a dull moment with Dick Van Dyke.
Hmm. Yeah, yeah. I mean, you missed it, Joel. It was because we were talking about like movies that we want to watch when we don't want to watch horror movies. And we had quite a few. There are a couple of Russell Meyer flicks. You know, a couple that I can't say out loud because you don't like them, Joel.
Well, you can say
Fatso
them
with
out.
Dom DeLuise.
Yeah, that's basically it was like any film with Dom DeLuise. Like I said, Cannonball Run, and Patrick said no, don't no. Jewel does not like that film.
Well, it's a religious film.
Yeah, I mean,
It's
yeah,
it's a film of
yeah,
faith.
I mean,
I
yeah,
do like Cannonball Run. Why would I like?
I know
yeah,
it's a good Burt Convy movie.
Oh my god.
oh yeah, Patrick said he wanted to watch Dragon Ball Evolution as well.
Again and again and again.
Oh my gosh. Is there anything you guys want to add about the movie? Just scanners before we
I
go.
talked about going in to see my urologist. He said, "What's wrong?" And I said, "I'm just Dragon Ball Z."
Um, uh,
yeah. I know. I was talking to a friend at a recent event, and I said, "Can you take a look at D's?" And they asked, "D's what?" And I said, "D's nuts."
oh my god. Oh my god. Who wants to pick a horror movie for tomorrow night? Anybody? Anybody?
Oh, you know what? Why don't we review the new Nosferatu movie? You know, the one that came out last year.
Yeah,
All
sure, I
right.
got a copy of that.
All right. All right. So, uh, linked link to Patrick Gray's Dark Shadows Day book about is going to be in the description box. Link to Daniel Culver's YouTube channel Magic Dove is going to be in the description box. Link to Gordon Dymowski's Amazon page and website is going to be in the description box. And yes, link to Alan Galan's YouTube channel Colin Sport After Dark is going to be in the description box. You folks have a good night. Bye bye.
Good night, all.